Hey YouTube, this bass. This is an Ibanez. Serial number starts K75, so I'm thinking it's a 1975 Ibanez bass. Looked up the 75 catalogue. It's catchily titled 2369B-W. Be white. The one in the picture has white block inlays rather than black block inlays. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, all original. I think these knobs meant to be silver in the picture as well, but I mean, yeah. So this is a beast. The owner of this is, I think, said his dad made him buy it when he was 16, even though he wanted like a spiky thing. His dad's like, no. So his dad was right. Well done. So Fujigen build. It's got the 3-piece laminate neck on it. You can actually see there. It's like it's the 4th piece. And it's a P bass. It's got a switch in it, which is quite bizarre. It's also a jazz bass pickup. This is in the catalogue. So 75. Yep, you did get PJ basses in 75. Who would have thunk it? It's quite weird having a. Normally you would just get 2 volume controls and a tone. This is a master volume, master tone, 3-way switch. This one are both. Maple fingerboard. I was going to say it's obviously not a 1-piece because it's a 3-piece on the back, so it's a separate fingerboard on it. I got this in just because the action was too high. The truss rod was kind of on the verge of being as max as it goes, but it's about right. I mean, you've got less than a millimetre of action in it, and of yeah, it's about right. And maybe I'd understand the guy's thoughts. I mean, kind of, it's like I was talking about this with a Gibson Les Paul double cut a couple of weeks ago. Bridge decked, action was fine. I would have liked the option to go too low though, so I could come back up a little bit. Not that I would ever need it, but you know, just the idea of it being absolutely maxed out. But I mean, it's 75, so I mean, it's older than me, so it's like it's not going anywhere. Basically, I don't think the 3-piece necks move anyway. The whole idea of having a piece of wood with the grain going in opposite direction stuff kind of stops it bending really anyway. I don't know why this spongy thing's on it. Normally to stop things ringing, but I don't think it does. I've left it on. Not my bass, not my call. It's got flat wounds on it as well, which actually were pretty minging when I got it. And I was like, I should really put new strings in this. Actually, I just gave it a wee bit of a wire wooling when I had the strings off, and it's they seem to have come back to life really well. they feel almost new. It's great. Yeah, so really just had this in to lower the action. I've sorted the jack socket, was really wobbly on it as well. But one of his gripes was the tuners. It's like they're a bit I don't know, it's not, relic's not the word, corroded. It kind of looks like they've been underwater for years. And the last one is a bit bent. I don't know if you can really see it. You can see it there. The last one's a bit bent, and it's like, there's anything you can do with it, and it's like, they work pretty good. I'm going to go and buy some 3-in-1 oil and just oil them a bit just in there, because I mean, the thing is, they work, and it's like, I don't want to. As I was sitting there I was looking at this last night, and I was thinking, I could put that in a vice and squish it. Put that in a vice and squish it and break it. And basically it functions totally fine. It just feels a wee bit weird. It feels a wee bit off centre, because it kind of, instead of spinning like that, it kind of does a wee bit of that. I don't want to change it. You could probably get replacement ones. The Bogota that would. He did say he'd looked at them, but you couldn't get one that was exactly the same size. But they don't. I would totally leave them. I'd keep this original. Yeah, but what a nice bass. I mean, this era, I've actually got another guitar. That's the same guy. Greco, supposedly. I'll get to that next week. Bought the wrong bridge for it, so I'm waiting for a bridge in the post to put on it a Strat, which is this same era, the 3-piece neck, Fujigen build, 70s. They're awfully good. They really are. A wee bit of a minefield getting them, I think, because you don't really know what it is you're buying unless you know what you're looking for. I do have a wee thing for the 3-piece neck, though, as in, if I see that, I kind of start thinking it's probably quite good. It's probably a good one. looking at my wee Antoria telly I was talking about, that, you know, that era, which well, it's the same catalogue it's in, so it's the same as my Antoria telly. Yeah, no, it's awful good. Make some noise. That'll be the. It's actually got a bridge pickup, so it's got a switch neck. With no tone. Was it 75? That would be oh god, that'd be Sabotage, wouldn't it? I might have to try flat wounds. The problem with flat wounds is it's so bloody expensive, like 25-30 quid a set or something like that, but maybe I'll go for it. To be honest, if I had this bass, it'd probably be my main bass. It's like one of those ones where it's like, could it be any better? I don't need the jazz bass pickup, but it's there. So maybe you turn up at a gig and it's like the amp's just too bassy, you just want a bit more. Or you put a lead solo. Maybe the jazz bass pickup works better with distortion actually. I'm using the Behringer Sansamp 21 clone thing, which is actually really good. I've now got a pedal board for the bass in here. I'm playing to the wee Marshall, which you can't see the band logo on it after the end logo. The Marshall, I say wee, it's 150 watt. Both pickups at the same time. Yeah, it's awful good, really. I mean, I have to say that I would. He's not going to sell it now since the guy's had it since he was 16. But this could be. That's the only bass you'd ever need, really. So I'm now thinking I might start venturing a bit further back when I'm looking at these guitars. They'll be a bit more expensive. It's kind of a total open. It's a total randomness. I've no idea what this is worth. It would not surprise me being able to find this on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace for 100 quid. Equally, it would not surprise me seeing this on eBay or Reverb for £1,000. Easy for someone who knows what it is. But it's also one of those ones that, because it's not actually a Fender, people are kind of, and also it's like, okay, that is the Ibanez, that's the original Ibanez logo from this era. But people are going to go, Ibanez. It's very possible that someone bought this in the 70s, or I don't know, would the price have gone down? Probably not. it probably doesn't suffer from the same thing which most of my guitars do. You know, something like that would have been popular when it came out, and then, what's that, 1983? By the time it got to, it's definitely the 90s, you know, when I started playing the guitar, mid-90s, that sort of thing was just, whereas this is a P-bass, and okay, it's a 70s P-bass because it's got the block inlays, it's got a black scratch guard, but I mean, it's a P-bass. There's not a band that exists then or now that a P-bass isn't the right bass to use, really. I mean, if it's like your heavy metal, like Iron Maiden or Black Sabbath, they just use a P-bass. Maybe they didn't use a white one, but I mean, or like anything. So I would probably, I mean, it's probably an awful lot more desirable. I mean, the only bass I've really got that really compares to this is my Roadstar. It's Ibanez as well. The Roadstar bass is, it's 1983, so it's like 8 years later than this. Post lawsuit era, so it's got like well, it is a P bass, but it's slightly different shape. You know, it's got slightly hooked here, maybe a slightly different thing here, maybe just enough, you know, 5% different all over, and it's got a completely different headstock on it because they didn't want to be clean copies anymore, which is fair enough. But I mean, I would put this up against any bass. I don't think you could give this to anybody and they would just be like, oh yeah, awesome. It's just a great old P bass. I have been told before, actually, about a couple of people that your Antorias and all these early Ibanezes and stuff weren't as good then as they are now. Not, I mean, it's still the same guitar, but this, and you know, apparently it's a theory, wasn't it, that because it's 50 years old or 40, so once you get to 40 years old, this wood has crystallised and dried out and started almost becoming petrifying and stuff, which I think there is an element of truth to. It's like, yes, you can dry the wood out brilliantly, all this stuff, but you can't dry it out 40 years of being in tension and being a bass. This isn't, you know, it's not 40-year-old wood turned into a bass. It's a 40-year-old bass, 50-year-old bass that's still a bass, and there's totally nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, it's okay, it's got a few wee chunks at the side, you can actually see there, it's yeah, it's wood. Don't know, but I mean, not relics. This is like, see when you get like a relic bass from the 70s, that's what relic's like. You know, chips where it's been knocked off speaker cabinets and stuff, not sandpapered. Actually, I saw a great thing, Scott sent me a thing yesterday. It was, remember you used to get the vinyl wraps? I think it was Rick Parfitt from Status Quo used to do them. It was like for your Telecaster, and you could get like it was just like a big sticker you stuck on your Telecaster, and it made it a different colour because it was just a big sticker on it. You can now get ones that are like relic. So it's like, oh, got a P-bass, you get like a sticker that looks like a worn off bit of paint. You know, it's like kind of ragged at the edges, and then it's got like wood grain in it and a sticker, so you can make your guitar, oh, relic, and then take it off without actually damaging the guitar. Kind of like that idea. Well, when I say like it, I think it's quite funny. I'm not sure if it's actually a genuine thing or whether someone's done it as like one of, you know, the Chibson memes you see sometimes where it's like there's one where it was like an acoustic that a hole you put your leg through. You know, just people have photoshopped it, made a stupid idea, and it's like, oh, you from Chibson. I'm not sure if it's one of those things. It kind of sounds like it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think it really. man, bass is so much fun to play. I actually saw Foxy this morning put a video out of his he's got a bass, and it was great seeing somebody playing the bass, and like he said he's totally out of his comfort zone and stuff like that, but you get someone who's got like a few guitars and can obviously play, and it's like the two ways of approaching the bass. You look at pure bass, go, oh, the bass is pure boring, or you could be like, oh, I've got a bass, you know, like do all the things that you can't do in a guitar that you wish you could do in a guitar, you know what I mean? Maybe it's just because it's a really nice one. I'm kind of feeling, someone actually commented yesterday, and I was doing two Telecasters. One of them was a modern Squire, and one of them was an old Japanese Squire, again, Fujigen, from the 80s, maybe 90s possibly. And it had that whole thing where you're playing that one much better. And it's like, I wasn't playing it, it was playing itself. This bass is the same. I don't play it, I just play it. It's just so well worn in and so used to being a bass that it's like, it's totally effortless. Easily 500 quid's worth this. You get nice basses are it's kind of got that sort of slight Telecaster vibe where there's so little to a P bass. Okay, it's got an extra pickup, but ignore that one. I'm not using it just now. There's so little to it that you can get really cheap ones that are actually alright. It's the same with Telecasters. I've not really come across any Telecasters that weren't a Telecaster, or any P basses that aren't a P bass, assuming they're not actually physically broken. But when you get a really nice one, they're really nice. Like that Tele, the Squire one I was playing yesterday, is just like basically it's just this, apart from it's a Tele. It's awful nice. And the playing of it, there's more to it than just, you know, like having a low action and having good frets and decent pickups. There's more to it than that. There's a vibe something like this has that transcends technical specifications. And it's a quality solid one, but I'm not saying that all old guitars are good. Plenty of old, there's still something that's not sitting in over there, that Eva Rose Morris, it's like, yeah, okay, it's 40 years, shit though. You know, it's like, this is a proper pro instrument, and I wonder how much it costs. Just out of interest, I wonder how much this, like when Ibanez were making this in 75, how much did it cost for a Fender P bass? And is a Fender P bass actually better? Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure a 75 P bass is going to be thousands of pounds though. And they probably made an awful lot more of them. I mean, look, that's just skipping through the Ibanez catalogue there, the 75. See the number of guitars they did? Wow! They did it. There was one I saw. I was on the page before this bass. It was a SG Junior. No, Melody Maker. What's it called? The one that's basically the Mike Oldfield one where you've got like a single P90 SG Special, I think they might have been called at the time. I was like, oh, I would really quite like a 1975 Ibanez SG Special. Or even if I was being a little bit sneaky about it, that exact same model but without the Ibanez badge with Antoria or CSL or some other shop. Because when my Antoria Tele for one, it's in that Ibanez catalogue. Is it in the 75 one? I think it's still in the 75 catalogue. So this would have been available. You could probably, I mean, this is total guesswork, but I'm pretty sure that this bass, other people would have bought it, and you'd be able to buy the exact same bass made in the same factory, but it doesn't say Ibanez, it says something else on it. I bet you those are worth less money than the one that's the Ibanez on it, because everyone knows about Ibanez. Ibanez. There's a debate for you. Who was it called at Ibanez the other day? was watching something called Ibanez, and then in Starship Troopers, the girl with the funny lips, the main character, I can't remember what her name, I can't remember what the actress's name, but her character's called Ibanez, and it wasn't until I was actually, I was reading it somewhere, I was like, up here, the name's Ibanez, and then the next time I watched Starship Troopers, it was like, Ibanez. Alright, well, fair enough. It's a bird, isn't it? It's like an avocet, I think. No, an Ibanez is like an ibex. It's either a sort of storky type thing, or it's a sort of antelope deer thing. I think it's a sort of storky, herony, wading bird. So I didn't clean this. I basically, all I did was I cleaned the truss rod cover because it was. I took it off and it was like, but I had scratch put off as well. I could have cleaned it, but it's original dirt. You know, it's like this is it's not neglect dirt. It's just years of use. And as I said, and I'm kind of talking to you who owns the guitar. I don't want to do anything with the tuners. I'll try putting a wee bit of I was going to put WD-40 in it, but my can ran out. The can of WD-40 I think I've had since I was about 16 has ran out. I was like, no! This thing was pure grotty. I don't even think getting a barcode on it was that old. I just don't think, it's not like you, I mean, it's a bass, so how often do you change the strings? Every 10 years? If you're only, it's not really going to go out of tune, really. Or a wee bit, you know, it's never going to be more than a whole turn, so if the tuners don't feel fantastic or it's a wee bit wonky, it doesn't matter. I would rather have these bent tuners if someone said, oh, I'll swap it for a brand new set of Wilkinsons if you want. It's like, no, I'll have them. I'll have the original ones, thinking in 50 years time it'll be like a 100-year-old bass. Amazing. Rock on, catch you later.